I'm Barb.
This is Carp Family Adventures. So now we're home, but we're gonna talk about the last 5 days of the cruise, which were 4 sea days, and then our plane trip home from Perth to LAX.
Yes. And look, no motion,
Yeah,
which
we're
I'm
not
sad.
going back and forth.
So hopefully the focusing stays in.
Yeah.
It doesn't go in and out. Like we had a couple issues with when the ship kept moving and stuff. But
Yeah.
anyways,
So our the first sea day after Melbourne was Wednesday, February 19th, and
it seems so long ago.
yeah, it was a long time ago. We basically did the same thing on all our sea days, really.
Yeah.
We went up to the breakfast buffet, we did the lunch buffet, and the dinner buffet, and I don't think we did too much on those, like Wednesday. Wednesday night there was the Magic Kingdom trivia, remember that?
Oh, that's
so
right.
it was really Disney trivia.
Oh, we did. We
Which
did
we
better than I
expected.
thought. Yeah, I think we would have tied if we would have gotten one more. Again.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's how it was. But of course, if we had our daughter Alex, she would have.
Yeah, 'cause
she knew them all.
It was basically the name that tune, and you had to say the name of the movie, which we got all of those, but you also had to say the name of the song, so we missed 1 or 2 of those. At least 2 of those.
Yeah, but Alex, she
Yeah, she would have known that.
We were like, oh, if Alex was
Because they were from like Tangled and Princess and the Frog and stuff.
yeah, her favorite movies.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's good.
And then after that was the Sky's the Limit game show again.
Oh, that's right.
They did that, and then we went back to the cabin.
That was fun again.
Yep.
It's always, we had a good time with all of them.
Yeah, and then the next Thursday was also a day at sea, so we did our usual stuff. We should say that the ship was rocking quite a bit during these days. Actually, the whole 4 days when we
Yeah,
were going back
It was
to
wild.
Perth. So yeah, going from Melbourne to Perth, from the west side of Australia to the east side of Australia, there were storms, but it was just very rocky. So
Well, yeah, you feel like you're like going down your hallway to your cabin. You feel like you're walking up. The next thing you know, you're like, whoosh, and you're walking down.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But we didn't mind it. I did feel bad for some of the people that had issues with, walking and stuff. But I have to say the crew stepped up, and, if somebody needed a hand, you saw crew members right there helping them, which
Yeah.
was nice.
yeah, and then I think that Wednesday was the day they also had, Thursday was the day they had sushi at the buffet again. So like for the 3rd time they did that.
And I think I got pizza,
yeah.
Slice of pizza.
Yeah, and then we did lunch buffet, dinner buffet. The first trivia was interesting. It was guess the set. So it was
Oh, that's right.
It was like from different movies and TV shows. They would have a picture of what the place really looks like. Not a set, but the Friends set was there, but like buildings and stuff, like outsides of houses and castles and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it was kind of, you had to use your imagination on a couple of them.
Yeah,
But it
you
was
could-
still fun. And then we for sure got, 2.5 Men? I would never have guessed that.
Yeah, that was some place in Malibu or something.
And we even had
Or Santa Monica, maybe.
somebody that we went on a tour with. She joined us, and it was good.
Oh, yeah.
She helped. We did it kind of together, and that was fun.
Yeah, and then after that, they did the Rock the Room show again with music. They did it a little differently this time, I think. And then after that was karaoke, and then we went
Yeah, the
to our
karaoke
room.
was fun again.
Yeah,
More people, I guess. Was
it more?
I think it was more because people got on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
So there were more people doing it. Yeah, so it was good.
Yeah, and then the next day was Friday. So that was February 21st. So our 3rd sea day in a row. This is when, we'll have some video of the Wake Show. But we started, because on the Wake Show, which is their morning the show that tells you what's going on, hosted by the cruise director, every day they had trivia, and we hadn't done it.
We used to do it all the time when the kids were on the ship with us.
Yeah.
We just didn't do it.
But we started so we did it like 3 times. So we were called out on the Wake Show 3 times, or one time they
It was
missed
weird.
us. Yeah.
The very first time we did it, we got a call out. So we were supposed
So
to
we
get
won a prize, yeah.
The second day we didn't, and the 3rd day we did.
Yeah.
We got called out for a prize. We're like, it was a big stack, because what they do is, even if you didn't get the answer right, if you just chimed in with a shout out to a crew member, you were included, because people were saying it wasn't fair because some people didn't have internet, so they couldn't
look up the trivia. Which was fine.
Was fine. We didn't have a problem with that.
Yeah, it's good.
But we just never got prizes, which
we
people
never got the
were
prizes.
complaining about. But I did talk to one, and I was just curious to know what the prizes were, because we didn't need any prizes, but it was just kind of fun. And it was the whatchamacallit, the World Cruise stuff that we've already
the pens
we've
and
already
luggage
won.
tags.
Yeah, and
We
she
had
even said,
those.
"I'll go get you some right now." And I'm like, no, I didn't want any. I was just curious what it was, you know. So, anyways, but yeah, super nice.
And then that day we also did Deal or No Deal. We just watched. We didn't buy a card.
We didn't.
Like one person did pretty well and one person didn't, or something.
Yeah, the
who got
second
up there on
person
stage.
won like almost $200 or something, I think.
But people in the audience weren't winning much. So.
No, and I don't know if it was because it wasn't completely sold out. I think it was only the top one, I think, was up to the second tier of the prizes. I think it was bingo, I think. Some people got scratchers and a couple people got bingo. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
But nobody won anything like a free cruise or anything.
No.
At least when we went.
I know.
And then at night for this one, they did something that we hadn't done before called the Movie Mayhem Game Show. And then because they couldn't find anybody to participate in it, the
Cruise
activity staff
they came over.
asked us to do it because they were desperate.
So I said, okay, wait, I have to ask, the question was, is it going to be individually done or is it going to be as a group? Because I said, if it's a group, I'll go up. And I said, yeah, it's a group. So I said, oh, I'll go up. I said, and then maybe Ed could come with me. But the other team already had enough people. But because they knew Ed would go with me or whatever, and I would go up, they got another person on their team. So it ended up being 5 and 5.
Yeah, and it was a bunch of different games related to movies and stuff. But I mean, it wasn't really much fun.
Ed killed it, and we had somebody do video of the whole thing, which was that was nice that she got video of us.
Oh yeah, she was
Yeah, so I just thought maybe she'd just get a little bit. I think she did the whole thing. It's on I think you got it off my phone.
Yeah.
So that was pretty neat. But yeah, they were like bowing down to Ed first. The part with the quotes, you knew all the quotes. You chimed in right away and got all the quotes, and you were really fast. But you know, the other team were buzzing in before they even knew the answer. So.
Well, which is how you had to play the game, which made it kind of dumb game. So I don't think we
I
did that
had
again.
fun though, and then they ended up giving prizes to both.
Yeah, of course. They always end up doing that.
So we got more luggage tags.
Yeah, and then after that, we ran over to the Princess Theater because they had the lady doing the Carpenters. So
it was an Australian lady.
Yeah, an Australian doing a tribute to Karen Carpenter, and she was fairly good. She wasn't perfect, but she did like sort of an imitation of the Carpenter songs and singing them in the style of Karen Carpenter.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was nice.
It was
different.
Good. Yeah. We stayed for the whole show. They did a good job. And then we went back to the cabin. That was Friday. And then Saturday was our last sea day before getting off the ship.
We made the most of it.
Yeah, we did the breakfast buffet. We were on the Wake Show again, or they mentioned us, I think, on the Wake Show again for that one. This day, you noticed that we were sailing closer to land because the captain said that they were going to do that because of how rough the seas were. So we sailed only 5 miles out from the land instead of 15 or 20, which is what we were doing.
Well, that was neat.
So it was good to see because you could see Australia and you could see even the waves crashing up on the islands and the coastline and stuff. So that was neat. So that we just did the lunch buffet and the dinner buffet, and we were packing.
It didn't take us very long. Yeah, it didn't take us very long.
It didn't take us long, which is kind of surprising because we did bring more clothes than we've ever brought before. But it was pretty easy.
Know. So now we know if we ever do this type of cruise again, we don't need to bring nearly what we brought.
But you do have to do laundry.
Well, yeah, but we did it anyway. So it wasn't that that difficult. I mean. Luckily, you were able to, do a lot of it, so I appreciate that.
After we were done packing, the trivia was country music trivia, so we didn't even really play that. Although we knew, we wouldn't have won.
No, but we should have because we did know more. And then our 2 lady friends that were behind us from Canada, they kind of played along. They were like,
Yeah.
we were telling them, and they played a Dolly Parton song, and they only played, I think, like 2 notes, I think it was, and I knew right away what it was.
Yeah, it was.
And it was great, because, you know, I was like, oh, Alex would be so happy that I knew this, but Alex would have gotten it, because she's
Yeah.
a Dolly Parton person, but...
Some of the classics were easy, but then they were playing modern ones that I don't think anybody had heard of in the room, except maybe one group. But anyway,
Yeah.
so that was country music trivia. And then after that, they had a comedian named Greg Sullivan, who was
Oh,
an
yeah, he was-
Australian comedian.
I liked
He
him.
was pretty good. He'd been a professional comedian for like at least 20 years. And he'd lost a lot of weight recently, so most of his jokes were about losing weight and things like that.
Yeah.
But he was good.
Yeah, he was good. And then we noticed he got off the ship with us.
Yeah, he was only on the ship between, I guess, Melbourne and Perth.
Yeah.
So then after the comedian, we were done packing. We just went back and
Just put the last of our clothes
Yeah.
that we were wearing and got our PJs on, and we got our bags out 15 minutes before 10, which that's what they said. How
yeah,
by
they
10?
wanted it out by 10 because only 100 people were getting off the ship, I think, right?
Yeah. So we wanted to
it
make
was-
sure we followed.
Yeah, we wanted them to have an easy time. So then we went to sleep. Then we got up the next morning, which was Sunday, February 23rd. And
That was the longest Sunday
yeah, that was
ever.
a long day because of our flight back
Oh my gosh.
to
Sunday
LAX. So
never
it was
ended.
really like 2 days
Yeah.
almost. So basically in the morning, it was like the usual morning of getting off the
Yeah.
ship.
And then we had to hang out. Our room steward said, yeah, it was okay, because they told us to stay in your room until at least 8. You could stay there and then have to go to your... I mean, we didn't have to go to our area until, what was it, 9:30?
Yeah, it was 9:30, but we went early.
Yeah, we went a little early, but our room steward was really cool. He said, don't worry about it. And I mean, I guess our cabin was pretty easy to clean anyways. But
Yeah.
still, we didn't want to make it harder on him, so we just did it. And then we actually didn't go, because we went to the Wheelhouse Bar,
Right.
but they wanted us with people with wheelchairs and that to go to another area. And they said, no, just stay where you are. And
Yeah, and then they eventually called us.
But they had issues getting the ramp up for people with disabilities, and when we finally got off, a couple people were kind of complaining because they had to wait an hour and a half before they could get off to explore. But it didn't affect us because we were just getting right onto a bus to
Yeah.
go to the airport. So
Yeah, so we got on the bus. There were only
that was
6
funny.
passengers on the bus plus the driver, so it was easy to find a space.
And it was a big,
Yeah,
regular bus.
Yeah.
And he was great too because he told us everything while we were driving. He was like our tour guide.
Yeah, so we drove through Fremantle, which is the port near Perth.
That's interesting. Not much there.
No, not too much, but he said it was growing or something. They're opening new places there. And then Fremantle's a few miles away from Perth, so we drove into Perth, saw sort of the downtown on the way to the airport.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going back because it did look like there was some stuff to see.
Yeah.
And then now that we've been home and we've seen, because we're still part of a Facebook page that people post pictures from the World Cruise, seeing different posts that people have been doing, and so that's kind of neat.
Yeah, Perth seems interesting. And also the driver did mention that it's one of the most isolated cities
Oh, that's
on Earth
right.
because the closest city to it is actually Adelaide, which is over 2,000 miles away, so 2,200 some miles away to Adelaide, the nearest city. Now there's towns, but there's no like significant cities anywhere nearby. So, it's sort of like driving across the entire US to get to the closest city.
Which is crazy.
But Perth, looked nice. The
Yeah.
airport, everyone was very helpful at the
Oh
airport.
my gosh, they were really helpful.
We had plenty of time also before our flight, which was good. So we got the scooter, we packed it into...
Yeah, because of course, I always like to ask what's the easiest, because, I don't like to put people out. So they thought the easiest thing would be to check it, and then get a wheelchair on both ends if I needed them, which I figured I would for the different flights that we were doing. So that was great. And we were a little worried because we had a connecting flight, but we got home and it was there and nothing was wrong with it.
Yeah, nothing happened. So we flew from Perth to Singapore. Which was almost 5 hours in the air, I guess, to get to Singapore.
Went pretty fast.
But it wasn't bad, and our seats were fine because we had an empty seat between us.
Yeah, they saw that they wanted when we were checking our stuff in and they saw the scooter and everything, she wanted to see our boarding pass, and she went ahead and changed our seats so that we would have nobody in between us. So that was really nice because the second flight we did premium economy, so the seats were comfier and more space and stuff. So which was nice.
Yeah. And we got into the Singapore airport. It was around like 8 o'clock at night, which it's in the same time zone as Perth, so it wasn't hard to deal with time zones.
It was a little stressful.
But yeah, we only had an hour and a half between flights, and they didn't have a wheelchair ready. And there were a lot of people who needed wheelchairs.
It was amazing. It was massive amount of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't do regular wheelchairs there. They have you get on a cart. And so when we got off, for some reason, I guess, I don't know, from just that little bit of a flight, I was having issues walking. I was. I'm, somewhat been okay, but for some reason I did. So they put this big orange massive sticker on me where everybody that needed help or whatever. So I finally went up to the guy because I couldn't really stand that much anymore. And he said, yeah, go sit over there, and on the next cart that comes, we'll come get you. And so, which was nice that he did get us, but the people that were getting on before us, they had well over 2 hours. They said that's what, they're talking about. And it was a good thing that he did take us because it took, how long, like 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, the Singapore airport's big because we had to go between terminals.
Yeah, but the airport looked really nice. I wish we would have taken video, but it was we didn't know what was going on. And then the guy at the other end, once we waited outside the checkpoint, the gate area, and then someone came over eventually and got me, and he was funny.
Yeah.
He's like, don't stress, don't worry.
So he had a wheelchair and brought it down to the plane, and eventually we got on that plane. And so that was scheduled to be 15 hours between Singapore and LAX. It ended up being about 13 and a half hours, so that was good. 13 and a half.
Oh, I thought it was like over 14.
No, 13 and a half in the air is what they said. So we got back on time.
We got in an hour early, I think it was, wasn't it?
Well, by the time we got to the gate and everything,
that's true.
We were on time. And so, we picked up our luggage and...
Yeah, that was the other thing, though. The Singapore airline people, they have the representative down there making sure everybody got their luggage and stuff. And the person that brought me in the wheelchair down, I said, well, I have my scooter, and I guess it was in oversized. So she said, here, let me go talk to the guy, and he'll let you know when your scooter's ready. So just have a seat over here. She offered to stay with me, and I said, no, you're fine. I've got a place to sit. And I was actually walking better, which was weird after the bigger flight.
Yeah, that's
good. I don't know, maybe it's just because of the...
You slept and you took your medicine.
That might be it. I did sleep. I didn't sleep much. I slept a little. I watched a lot of movies, but anyway, so next thing we know, we're waiting, and the guy is carrying my scooter because we have a case on it, and it was amazing. So he was wonderful, bringing it over, because we just thought we were gonna, just go over, get it with the battery and go, but he carried it to us, which was nice.
And Heather picked us up and brought us home. So that was the end of the trip. We had a good trip.
We had a fabulous trip.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's good.
And the flight home wasn't really that bad. It was certainly not enjoyable, but it was worth it for the trip, I guess. And then we also had video of our room, a little bit of video. So we were going to do a room tour, but we don't really have enough video of that. So we'll just show you some pictures of our cabin, which was a mini suite on, what deck was it?
It was Baja 205, and it was the best. I loved it. Best room. And we did see before we left that people said it was the worst room. I think partly because of the balcony and stuff.
Yeah, for some reason they said it was a bad mini suite, but it was really, it had much more space on the balcony.
It was covered a little bit more, and that may be why they didn't like it. But I like the fact that if it was raining, there was still enough space to be covered with both chairs and the table. If it was too hot, even move over, and then if you wanted more sun, you move all to the other side. I don't know, I just really liked it.
Yeah, it was a really good cabin. So I guess that's it.
So we just want to do a shout out to everybody that's been following us, and we thank you. We've talked to a few of you. Glad you're enjoying them, and our adventures continue. So we have two cruise booked already. So we're going in April and we're going in May And I don't know, should we tell them what we're doing?
I guess so, for May anyway.
Okay, well, for April, we're doing LA, we're doing a Mexico 7-day cruise. And then May, we're going back on the island, Princess. Woohoo! I'm so excited. We did try to get our cabin, but that didn't work out
Yeah,
for
but
us.
it's another mini suite.
Yeah, we're in another mini suite, which will be nice. We're going to do an 18-day Panama Canal leaving out of LA. So we're excited.
Yeah, and it goes to New York City, so we'll fly back from New York City. That'll be
Yeah, we did try to do the other way around, but it didn't quite
Yeah.
work. So, but we're excited, and so our adventures continue. And yeah,
Yeah.
so thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.